What's going on, guys? This is the Fullstack Bro coming at you with another video today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why the software engineering space is so competitive. Why is that? Now, I've been getting a couple emails about jumping into tech and actually trying to find a job, and it's been very hard in today's job market because of the amount of competition that is out there for these jobs. When a job is posted on LinkedIn or Indeed, you'll see the application stats go up. So once it's posted, you see over 100 plus applications. Now, that doesn't mean that there's like at least 100 to 200 applications. That could be over 1,000 or more, because it's not just in the US, it's globally. Globally, people are applying for these jobs. And there's a lot of competition with the skill set, whether you have the right skills versus like people actually inflating the resume with a bunch of like buzzwords and keywords that actually would show like they know what they're doing when they're faking it till they make it. And that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays, and they're getting lucky. And also like networking, right? Networking is very important. Networking with the hiring manager for these companies, understanding the needs of what the hiring manager needs for their team, and actually bypassing that as well. So I'm gonna go through 5 major reasons why the software engineering job market is competitive today based off of what I just talked about. And just kind of go in depth with what you need to do to kind of get yourself to stand out more. So the first thing that I've noticed, at least like when I look at the job market on LinkedIn and Indeed, is that it's just a lot of competition, guys. It's a lot of competition. A lot of people are applying for these jobs because the software engineering space is very lucrative. What I mean by that is that you can work remotely, you can make a great living, and all you would need to do is have a computer, internet connection, and be able to write code, have the basic fundamentals of writing code for whatever language that you're trying to target. Whether this is front end, back end, or a full stack role, if you are able to write code effectively, you could get a job anywhere and work anywhere. But to stand out from that competition, you have to do more than what was necessary back in the day. Because I could tell you from my experience, when I first started looking for a job as a web designer to jump into web development and then software engineering, it didn't really take me that long to find a job. If that, it probably took me like 3 to 4 months. And that's with minimal interviewing skills. That's with just having experience on my resume. That's all it took. And just going into these interviews and explaining like what my skill set is and coming in there with confidence, right? Showing that I know how to code, I know how to build a website and all this stuff. And I was able to get these jobs. But ultimately now, finding a job is tough. It's gonna be tough. I'll be 100% with you. It's gonna be tough. You have to do multiple things to stand out there. Number one is building up your portfolio if you haven't done so already. Putting your portfolio out there on the web will allow other people like the recruiters or hiring managers to actually reach out to you, number one. But number two, it actually showcases what you can do. So having your portfolio of different projects that you worked on in the past that are up to date, that works, is gonna give the hiring manager an opportunity to see what you're all about. And having a portfolio that explains who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, and what you specialize in, and what you're willing to learn is gonna help you jump into tech a lot faster. Having a GitHub account too helps, like having your projects out there and having like a nice landing page about what's going on with that project, what is the requirements, what tech stack you're using, and how you got to go about that, and just having the files laid out there is going to help you as well. But having a portfolio that makes it easier for someone to just look at your project and scroll through and see if it works, like that makes it so much easier as a hiring manager, as opposed to like trying to piecing things together, because there's not a lot of time to vet through these applications now. Number two is the constant evolution of technology. Technology is rapidly growing. You see the addition with AI now. We have ChatGPT, Claude, we have GitHub Copilot. All of these AI assistants are helping people write code more efficiently and getting things done faster. Point blank period. So if you're a junior developer that is trying to get into tech, or entry level developer, and you're not using AI, you're going to be left behind tremendously. So start using AI as a tool to help you code, like as a pair programmer on your side that can help you code, solve problems, understand how to solve those problems to where you could add that to your portfolio. Because if you're not using AI, you're going to be spending a lot of time thinking about how to solve problems. And granted, that's great if you want to get into that cadence of learning. Like when you first start to learn, that's how you should do it. But if you don't know, what I've used to do is go on Stack Overflow, Google a lot of different solutions and try them myself, and then tweak it to where it solves the problem. AI is just making it a lot easier because it's consolidated into one place, and all you have to do is prompt a question and it gives you an answer. And if you don't like that answer, you could rephrase the prompt to give you a better answer, and so on and so forth. But understanding how to prompt engineer, how to write in a prompt to solve a problem and understand how the code will be working will save you so much time and make you more productive, right? But there's a bad side to that too. If you are relying on AI too much, you'll become what we call a dumb programmer that just relies on whatever is outputted by AI. You're not doing anything. That's why a lot of these companies are letting people go, because of the addition to AI, because AI could do some of these things. So if you are able to get with the times and learn as much as you can and just be good at being a prompt engineer versus a coder, hands down, you're going to be able to get a job in no time. So be on the lookout of learning these new technologies. Learn AI as much as you can. If there's a look at the job market today, what is the top language that is getting these opportunities that you could easily learn right now? You could go on a course website like Coursera, Udemy, right? And buy a course for like $15 and every day learn in that course what it takes to code in that language. And once you get that certificate of completion, you could put that on your resume and say, hey, like I'm certified to do this language. Like I went through this course and I learned how to build projects in this language, and these are the problems that I solved. You do that, you're gonna get a job, hands down. So stay with the times. If there's something new, learn as much as you can about it and adapt. It's all about adapting as a software engineer. If you're not adapting, forget about it. You're getting left behind. Trust me on that. Number 3 is like I said, the global job market is tough right now. It is wild. You have so many people that are jumping into tech from different areas of life. You got the finance district, you got the healthcare department. Like you got all these different sectors that people are jumping in from doing those jobs into tech because of how lucrative it is and the amount of opportunities that are presented. And trust me, it's true. You could work from home, you could do a lot of great things, but at the end of the day, there are pros and cons to doing that. So I just want to make it super clear, as a full stack engineer as myself that has been working from home for like at least, I want to say 4+ years now, right? The biggest thing is that yes, you could work from home, you could work from anywhere in the world, okay? But you have to make sure that you're not too comfortable. And what I mean by that is not staying at home coding all day, not working on certain things and not spending time, with your own life. And that's something that I had to deal with. And once I understood that, it was game over. I knew how to schedule out my time to where I'm more productive, getting things done, and then also spending time focusing on myself, like mentally, physically, just doing the things that I want to do. My free time, I'm able to do. Okay, so when it comes to the software engineering job space, yes, there's a lot of great things about it, but there's also cons as well. But going back to the point, just the job market itself, you're going to be competing with a lot of people and you have to stand out as much as possible. So you have to code every single day. You have to stay consistent. You have to build out your projects to where it's solving a problem that's not just a to-do list. It's not just a Netflix clone or a LinkedIn clone or a clone of another website. You build a dashboard that provides value. So as a user, if I was to log into your app, what kind of data am I supposed to be looking at? Like, what kind of problem are you solving for me? So if you understand that and you've been building it on your own, that's more of an incentive than all these other projects that are out there doing the bare minimum. So think outside the box and build to get out there in the global job market and stand out as the top 1% of those developers that can make it. Number 4 too is very, very important today than it was back then when I started learning or got into the job market, is that there's a low barrier to entry when it comes to getting in the software engineering space. It's low. All you need to know is a language online. Like you could look right now, you can go on YouTube right now, pick a language that you want to learn. There's a free course on there. You start with that as a basic blueprint of what you need to do, understand the basics, right? Then you could purchase a course online or do a boot camp, depending on if you have the funds for it, because a boot camp is very expensive. But if you want to do a course on your own, you could go to these course websites, like I said, Udemy and Coursera, and purchase a course and go through that course effectively every single day. And once you get that certification, now you are ready to go. You could apply for these jobs. You can put that on your resume, like, hey, I learned this language. These are the projects that I worked on. And it's not going to take you a month to do this. Like, you could do it every single day and learn as much as you can from that course. But ultimately, what you need to do is build something that is out of the box that no one has ever done before, and expand on that idea and build it to where, like, hey, like, I spent so much time on this one project that solves this problem. And this is the language that I use to get there. And that's going to make you stand out way more. So a lot of people are doing projects. They have their own GitHub accounts. They have their own projects hosted there. They have their own portfolio. So a lot of people are going to have portfolios, projects out there, but it's more about like how unique your projects are, what kind of services you're going to be providing, what value that you're going to be providing, and how you're eager to jump into the tech space. Like, what are you willing to do to do that? If this is your dream, whether you work your regular job and then do an internship, if you can, do that. That's the way to get in. Networking on LinkedIn is very important too. Like I said before, you got to network. You got to be out there. You got to talk with people. You got to work with others that are actually working right now as a software engineer. And you can at least reach out and ask questions and be like, hey, am I doing this right? Like, I saw you work at this company. See that you have a lot of experience. Like, you please help me. Like, if you guys need someone to help you, you could reach out to me directly too, right? You can reach out to me at thefullstackbro@gmail.com. Okay. You can reach out to me via email. If you want to set up a call just to kind of talk about your portfolio, what your resume is looking like, we can do that. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about this myth of this 10X engineer. What is a 10X engineer? A 10X engineer is someone that will look at a project and be like, you know what, I already have a system of what I need to do. I understood the requirements. I understand what we need to do to get this project out the door. So what I'm going to do is sit here and code for 4 hours straight, or however long it takes to get that project done. And if the project is listed as being done in like a month, you get it done in 2 weeks. That's a 10X engineer that does everything. That is a rock star, okay? Considered a rock star in corporate. This loose term of 10X engineer could mean anything. You could be a 10X engineer as a front-end developer, back-end, full stack, DevOps, data science. It doesn't matter, but it's all about the systems that you have in place. So if I had a project that's gonna take 3 months and I get it done in 2 or 1, yeah, that I could be considered a 10X engineer. But it's all about the systems that you have in place to get to that point to where you look productive, you are productive, and you're getting things done. So being a 10X engineer, in my opinion, is just doing what you can to understand what the problem is, then having a plan and executing that plan to solve that problem, and breaking things out into smaller pieces in terms of the hardest to the easiest, and then just going through the requirements, questioning those requirements before you get started, right? So reaching out to product, having that communication style, and really effectively getting that project done to where you don't have to worry about it, move on to bigger and better things. So that's my definition of a 10X engineer, someone that can just get things done, doesn't cry about things, and has a system in place to where it could get them to that status, right? Of saving time, being more productive, and actually getting more work. Being trusted to do that work is very important. Once you get that trust, is over. So That's it, guys. That's the video. I just wanted to really break down, in my opinion, why the software engineering space is so competitive. Because back then, when I started, it was so easy. When I tell you, like, you just apply, you pretty much you got phone interviews lined up. You had technical interviews lined up. It was super easy. As I was working as a software engineer, I was looking for a new gig, and I applied to all these different jobs that were posted online. And when I tell you, like, the first week I applied, I had phone interviews lined up already for the next week. My calendar was crazy, like back-to-back phone interviews with recruiters, hiring managers for different companies. It was crazy. But now it's going to be a lot more competitive for you guys. A lot of you guys are graduating from computer science degrees, right? Entry level. You got to do what you got to do. If you already have a job right now, you're trying to find a job and it's really, really tough, you got to network and do what you got to do. Unfortunately, you have to learn and think outside the box and get uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are, the more skills you're going to have under your belt, and the more easy it will be to interview and get your skill set out there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, like I said, at thefullstackbro@gmail.com. I'll have it in the description here. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk soon, guys.